In our first video of this series, we answered the question, what is ISO 17025? The next video, we answered the question, why do we need standards? Why is ISO 17025 exist? And what does policy, procedures, and instructions, and why do they matter? Then we answered the question, why is ISO 17025 so important to us in forensic science? Today's question, which we're going to answer, is why should the criminal defense community care about ISO 17025? The criminal defense attorney is the government's only legitimate source of external validation and auditing when it comes to any sort of testing that's involved in forensic science. But really, why should we as criminal defense attorneys care? Criminal defense attorneys have an extremely difficult job in that we are expected to be not only masters of the law, but nowadays we're required to be masters of the science. It is as if we are a fish stuck in the fishbowl that is law, and while the outside world is science. We are very comfortable with our perspective within our fishbowl, meaning the law. But once we're in the broader world of the scientific arena, or perhaps better stated, the alleged scientific arena, we have the tendency to flop around on the ground like that helpless fish out of water. This doesn't have to be so. In fact, in the long term, it's my personal belief the only attorneys that may be negatively impacted by this shift are those who have an aversion to science. I suggest very strongly that if you're one of those attorneys and one of those folks, that unless you plan on becoming a volume-driven pleader, you need to re-examine the type of law that you've chosen. Criminal defense in general is going to become increasingly focused on science and technology and requires understanding and the ability to clearly present its limitations to everyone. I know this to be true because the venues where I go to get the real science and where it's presented, warts and all, such as the American Academy of Forensic Science and its annual meetings, and various regional meetings as well as meetings sponsored by the American Chemical Society, prove it to be true. I strongly urge all criminal defense lawyers to join NACDL and NCDD to go to these scientific meetings as well. See, ISO 17025 provides a means for the criminal defense attorney to conduct his or her own essential due diligence, which is to act as the government's only legitimate source of external validation and auditing when it comes to forensic science results.